Well, whew, I haven't done this for a while. It's been 4 years, hasn't it, John? Hey? It's so great to see everybody here. I tell you, when Adrian sent an email and said, would you be willing to come out and speak about Mary Ellen Turpel-Lafon, and I thought, okay, this is a good one. Now, is this a roast? You know, how am I going to handle this one? Because we had some times. And so I just sort of thought, for those of you who don't know, I was Minister of Children and Families, you know, that role that everybody wants, for 18 months. And I only stepped down because I got old. No, I wasn't going to run again. And when you don't run again, you don't get it anymore. And that was a regret for me because I really, really enjoyed the work that we did together. We did a lot of good things. But I tell you, I don't know how many of you know what happens and how you get the role. And first off, you get elected. Thanks, Chris. First off, you get elected, and then you meet with your leader, and the leader has to sit down, and they have to figure out who's going to be in cabinet and who's not. And you have no idea whether you are or you're not, and you go to a meeting, and they ask you questions, and you answer, and then you leave. And then you know that the cabinet is going to be announced on a Monday. Friday night, I'm with a friend who's also a colleague in MLA. Have you heard? No. Have you heard? No. Oh, I guess we're not in. Oh, well. Okay, yeah. So you go back home, and then I got an email. Can you come to X, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning? So you go, and it still doesn't mean anything. You know, you still could not. And I remember on my way there, I phoned my husband, and I said, okay, well, it's okay. If I'm in cabinet, it's fabulous. If I'm not, that's great too, because I've got a great riding, and you know, it's going to be super. Just as long as I don't get... Yeah, that was it. Well, there were two, but it was one. And so I went, and I get in there, and you sit down, and we happened to sit on a love seat, so we're really close. And it's, okay, I want you to be Minister of Children and Families. And it's at that moment you sort of go, God, I hope my face looks all right. You know, because they're looking at you and you sort of say, oh, please keep a smile. Anyways, because you don't say no, right? And, okay, yeah, walked away. And oh, by the way, you're not allowed to say anything. This is a Saturday morning. Don't tell anyone. But tell your husband that he can come over on the Monday, or your family, and they can be there when you're sworn in. So you go over on Monday, and the interesting thing is you go to Government House, and you go quickly into the private living room, and you have to sign your documents, and then you get out, and no one knows who's going to be what until you walk out and walk on stage, and then they only know that you're in cabinet. They don't know what position. And in the audience are your family, and some senior bureaucrats who know they're going to be a deputy minister, and all they know is the ministry. They don't know the minister. And you get up there, and they introduce you. You go up there, and they say, and it's you. And right after, a fellow comes up to you and says, hi, I'm your deputy minister. And you've never met them. It's quite unique. Then you go, and you have to empty out your other office, go to your new office. You've got a whole bunch of binders on there. And what do you do when you're Minister of Children and Family? What's the first phone call you're going to make? That's called preservation. You know you're going to phone Mary Ellen. I said, okay, what's the phone number? Let's get the phone number. And so I remember phoning you, and it was around 4:30 that afternoon. And, of course, you know, hi, how are you? And we arranged to get together for dinner, and I think we met like 2 or 3 days after, right away. And we hit it off, I think, right away. We both have 4 kids, and we just clicked. She has a job, I had a job. And you know what? You get along, you get more done when you get along. And so it was, okay, let's work together. And I think, Mary Ellen, you made it very easy for me. Because you didn't just, you know, all you see a lot of times is just the snippets on the media. You don't get to be in the offices where you have really good conversations and you talk about the things that matter. And you both understand, you both want the same thing. And you're both under constraints on how to get there. And so it was really great, and I really, really appreciate all the time that we were able to work together. We did a lot of socializing. We did a lot of, there were a lot of long nights when you're ready for a new report the next morning. And, it was a great time. And I have to say, the people that I met, a lot of you in this room, when you'd come to the office or work, there are so many people that are working so hard on behalf of families. And I think one of the things that I would really say is the minister's got to be there working as hard as they can with you, with your replacement now, who's here today. I haven't had a chance to speak to. Hi there. Yeah, it could have been me. Yeah. And you've got to work together or you're not going to get there. And you're not going to agree on how you can get there because there are constraints. And I tell you, it's just, well, you saw a picture, I don't know if you did. There was a picture of Mary Ellen and I up there, and we were sitting in my office, and we were both chestnut brown babes. And we're not that anymore. And it was a lot of fun, and you get to meet people like Chris Tate, Jess Boone, some really great kids that we watched grow up, and they're doing really, really well now. And it was a wonderful opportunity, and I regret the fact that I have 13 grandkids, and I love it. And I had 13 while I was in government. And I tell you, they start growing up, and you're missing times because you get a phone call and someone wants you to do something, and you have to meet together or you have to go somewhere else, and sometimes you just have to change what you do. And so I stepped down, and it is a regret. I wish I'd gotten into it earlier. If any of you are thinking of getting into politics, if you'd asked me at 50, was I going to do that, I'd say, you're crazy. There's no way I would. But it was probably the most interesting thing I've done in my career, and I've done a lot. And it's really, really, really good to be able to work with people like Mary Ellen, who really makes a difference. And I just regret we couldn't have carried on, because I think we would have done a lot more. But she really, you don't put someone in that role, have them speak on behalf of kids, and then not work with them. That's not why you're there. So I really I'm glad I was able to be here today and share your time, meet some of your kids, and see a lot of faces again. And I really want to thank you for all your career and for everything you've done. And it was not over yet. We're still going to get together for dinner. Maybe this time we'll include the spouses. Yeah. Thank you so much. And let's hear it for Mary Ellen. Thanks.